All right, let's dive into what is truly one of the most foundational stories ever told. But this isn't just some dusty old history lesson. Nope. This is a story about a journey of absolutely impossible faith. It's all about a man named Abram and a single promise, a promise that would literally echo through the ages and change the entire world. To really get this promise, you've got to picture where Abram was coming from. Just imagine this place, Haran. It's busy, but also super predictable, kind of painfully ordinary. Life just had this rhythm, day in, day out. But deep down, Abram had this restlessness, right? This quiet little inside him that said, there's got to be something more than this.
And then one day, that quiet restlessness gets an answer, a voice. And let me tell you, everything was about to change.
What's so amazing about this moment is how that voice is described. It wasn't some big, terrifying spectacle. No thunder, no fire. It was intimate. It was this soft but incredibly powerful whisper. You could almost call it love wrapped in a command. It spoke right into his bones, and the whole world just went silent. The first command, wow, it lands with some serious weight. Leave. Leave the only land you've ever known. The dirt, the smells, the culture, literally everything that makes up your world. Just walk away. And then it gets even harder. This isn't just about changing your address anymore. This is about changing your identity. He's being told to leave his community, his entire tribe, the whole network of people that tell you who you are. And here it is, the final, most personal command. Leave your family, your own history, your inheritance. Abram is being asked to walk away from every single thing that gave him safety and identity. He's being asked to become a complete and total stranger. But in exchange for leaving everything behind, he's offered, well, pretty much everything. Think about it. A great nation for a guy with no kids. A great name for a man who's literally leaving his family name behind. And then there's this last one, and it's just breathtaking. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you. He's being asked to trade certainty for a promise. That's a huge leap of faith. Abram does it. He just obeys. He walks away from the only life he has ever known. But following the voice, that's one thing. Waiting for the promise to actually happen, that's something else entirely. Can you just imagine that journey? Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. He's just wandering through these barren landscapes with no map, clinging to the memory of a whisper. The doubts must have been absolutely deafening. Was he a man of faith, or was he just some fool chasing a dream? Then God speaks again, kind of reinforcing the promise. But there's this painful irony here, right? To your offspring, I will give this land. Great. Abram is standing right on the promised land, but he has no offspring. His wife, Sarai, is barren. He's got the place, but not the people. And this timeline really drives home just how long this took. He wasn't some young guy when this all started. He was 75. Years go by, doubt starts to creep in. He's now in his mid-80s, and the main part of the promise, a son, is still just a dream. The waiting is just immense. And then we get this absolutely pivotal moment. Abram's standing out under this huge desert sky, and he just cries out to God, totally childless, no heir. And God's response is so simple. He just takes him outside and says, look up. The sky is just exploding with stars, and the voice whispers, shall your offspring be? And in that moment, something just clicks inside Abram. He doesn't know how, he doesn't know when, but he believes. But here's the thing, even the strongest faith can get tired. Believing is one thing. Actually living in that waiting room for decades, that's another. And this is where our very human frailty comes into the story. Sarai, she's been waiting right there with him, and she finally just breaks. Her hope is gone. What does she do? She comes up with a very human plan. It was actually a pretty common thing to do back then. She tells Abram, hey, have a child with my servant, Hagar. And Abram, he agrees. A son, Ishmael, is born. And look, there's joy. Of course there is. But underneath it all, there's this unsettled feeling, a little voice whispering, this isn't it. This isn't the one. This isn't the promise. After years of silence, after Ishmael's birth, God comes back. But this time, it's not just to repeat the promise. It's to make it official, to formalize it in a way that is permanent and incredibly personal.
And do you want to know how old Abram is when this happens? 99. Just let that sink in for a second. 99. He is so far past the age of being a father by any natural standard. The sheer impossibility of it all, that's the whole point.
And this is huge. God changes their names. This isn't just a new title, it's a whole new destiny. Abram, which meant exalted father, becomes Abraham, father of multitudes, and Sarai becomes Sarah. God is literally renaming them for a future they still can't even see.
And then God gets stunningly specific. This isn't going to happen through a servant. It's not going to be some workaround. It's going to be Sarah. I will bless her. She will bear you a son. Can you believe it? Abraham, at 99 years old, actually falls on his face laughing, not because he's mocking, but out of just pure, utter disbelief. Now, with this renewed promise comes a physical sign, circumcision. It was painful, it was humbling, but it was a permanent mark cut right into their flesh. It was a constant, physical reminder that this promise wasn't just some passing thought. It was a covenant, binding them to God forever. So this brings us right to the climax of the story. This is where all those decades of waiting and that weary disbelief finally come face to face with divine power. One day, these three mysterious strangers show up, and one of them just declares that in a year, Sarah will have a son. Well, Sarah's inside the tent. She's old, she's tired, and she overhears this. And she laughs. But it's not a happy laugh. It's a quiet, sad, worn-out laugh. The laugh of someone who gave up hope a long, long time ago. The visitor, who turns out to be the Lord, hears her. And he asks the one question that just cuts through all the years of doubt. The question that defines this entire story. Is anything too hard for the Lord? And that question, it just silences everything. And wouldn't you know it, a year later, the promise is real. A baby is crying in the camp. The son is born. And they name him Isaac, which means laughter. God literally took Sarah's laughter of disbelief and turned it into the laughter of pure joy.